Are you tired of spending hours on boring tasks that AI could handle for free? You're in the right place. Imagine saving up to 20 hours a week just by using the right AI tools without spending any money. In this video, I'm gonna reveal 5 incredible AI tools that will let you create images, videos, and voiceovers with unlimited generations, all for free. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first one is cooperation between Google and Focus, and it allows you to create focus-based images for completely free when you just use this link. This is what you see once you are using this link. And the first thing, I know that it looks very confusing, but it is very easy and clear. Just bear with me and I will explain. So first, all you have to do is click connect here. So we hit connect, and once it's connected, then you will be able to run all the script and everything you need to basically use this model. Then just hit the play button, and then it will start installing your model. It's still without using your own PC. It is stored in cloud, but it just needs to unpack itself, install correctly, and once that is done, you'll be able to basically start using your images. So while we are waiting, I also wanted to prepare a prompt for you. The prompt that you can use with ChatGPT or any other model and create more prompts based on your criteria. And here is the whole prompting guide. So this is the prompt that you can use. You can just copy it and then write what you want to achieve, what kind of generation you want to have in this particular order in ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT will generate a prompt based on this criteria. So then you have an actually very, very detailed prompt, and I can actually show you what it looks like in action. So all you have to do is you head over to ChatGPT, use this prompt, and now write me a highly detailed descriptive image generation prompt that works with Focus or similar models. And this prompt should include that and that. Here we have also the negative prompt, and let's say featuring a young, beautiful American woman exercising at the gym. It should work. Okay, so here we have our prompt, and this is all you need. And in this way, you can generate any prompt in a matter of seconds. So let's hit generate, and we will see what kind of prompt we will get. So now, as you can see, the prompt is very long and very detailed. And now you will get way better result, especially when you compare it to the situation where you would just write a prompt, a beautiful American woman in their mid-20s, for example, right? So this prompt will work way better. And then you can use this prompt that I showed you here, or this prompt that I showed you here, to write any prompt for Focus. So now let me show you how it works. Okay, so now this one is ready. As you can see, here is the running on a public URL. So this URL is all you need to generate your images. Click on it, and then you'll be able to see your image generator. This is your image generator, very clean, very easy to use. I know that the beginning was looking very scary and very difficult, but now you can just use everything here. So you can, of course, enhance it if you want. So for example, you can upscale it. Then, of course, you have the advanced option or input image, so you can also input images as well. Here you have a few options. So preset, you can pick for example realistic, but at this point I will not pick anything. Now performance, let's pick quality. Aspect ratio, so now you can pick from many different ratios. So in this case it doesn't really matter, just let's just keep the original one. So this is what we will have. We will use PNG, and we have also place to write the negative prompt here. Okay, so here we have the first prompt. So here is our whole prompt, and let's hit generate. We don't have any negative prompt. We'll see what we will get with just this very long prompt. We'll see if the generation will be good or the quality will be good enough for our project. It takes some time. As you can see, there is the generation process now is encoding, preparing tasks. So you can see also the progress bar, which is really nice because you can see how it is generating your images in the real time. And now we'll be adding steps to your generation, so you can observe how it is changing with every single step it is taking. Of course, you can pick how many images you want to generate. You can pick 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, if you are picking more of them, you will take more time to generate. However, in this case, you can see the first images is ready. Now we are still waiting for the second one. So once both are finished, I will show you exactly what they look like. Okay, so here we have our 2 generations. Here is the first one. I can make it even a little bit larger for you. So here is the first one. I would say it's a very, very good generation, a quality one. Of course, later we can upscale it. And here is also the second quality generation. I like the details. It looks very realistic. It doesn't look like someone was adding too much Photoshop here, so it looks real. It doesn't look too realistic or unrealistic even. So it's a good generation in my opinion. Now if you want to download it, you just simply hit this button here and it will download the image for you. So now here we have the second prompt. In the second prompt is including also a negative prompt here. So all we have to do is just take this negative prompt and add it into this box here. So now Here, this is what we don't want to achieve. And then we'll see if we will change anything. Of course, we pick the quality that should be high. We pick PNG. And then let's try maybe something even bigger than that. So of course, it will take more time, but we can try with something a little bit bigger. So for example, let me try with this one. So let's see how much time it will take. I'm also generating 4 images at once. So of course, it will take more time. And now we can see that it was taking some time to prepare all the tasks and then to take all these steps. But let me speed up the process a little bit for you. And here we have the first image. So again, look at this level of details. In my opinion, it looks like real eyes, a real picture, not necessarily something that was generated with AI. So Focus can get you anything you want if you have a good prompt, right? As in this case, we are getting this quality. And here we have the second generation, again, very realistic. It looks really like a real person, not a like AI model or anything like that. Here is the next generation, again, very realistic. All of them look very similar. The prompt is very particular in this case. However, I wanted to just showcase the results. As you can see, when we change the aspect ratio for this one, it actually generated way better or like way more detailed results. Of course, this was expected. So if you want to get better quality, pick a higher aspect ratio, and then your generations will be just better. Okay, so here we have all our generations. This is the last one. I'm probably not a huge fan of this one because of the eyes, but sometimes when we are taking photos of real people, it looks like this, especially when I'm taking photos of myself. I always have problems with my eyes, so this might be a completely natural thing. Okay, let's try the next prompt. So here we have the next prompt, a very long one again. We don't have any negative prompt here, so let's just remove that. In this case, let's just create 2 images, but the quality, we will still want to have high quality. So let's hit generate. Okay, so the first generation is ready. Here it comes. Again, very high quality. Look at the jacket, look at the face or the goggles on his head. It looks very realistic. It looks very high quality. So now you can create something like that for completely free if you just improve your prompt in the way I showed you before. And the second generation is ready too. So here is the second one. Again, high quality. Look at the details, look at the jacket. Everything looks very realistic here. The goggles as well. Although now he has it on his eyes, however, still a very good generation. Okay, let's try another one. So here is our prompt. And let's see what kind of generation we will get. I will change also the aspect ratio so we can try many different styles. And then let's hit generate. And in my opinion, it's very nice that we can see every step that this tool is taking, because you can see how it's creating your image in the real life. And I know that it's not very helpful for content creation process. However, it is just nice thing to do if you have nothing better to do. At this point, you are just generating images. You can see how it's working, how it's making its way through, how it's shaping the whole image. So this is a nice feature in my opinion. Okay, and the first image is ready. So here is the result. Again, it looks very realistic. The aspect ratio is changed, so then we also see more details here. Not only her face, but also her body, her hair, everything around her, and also the room behind her. So again, it looks real. Maybe there's a bit of problem with teeth, but I wouldn't say it's that big of a problem here. Let's wait for the second one and then we'll decide. And here is the second one. The second one, in my opinion, looks even better. I like the quality here. There is everything all right with her teeth. Oh, maybe there is a little bit of problem here with her eyelid. Apart from that, I would say this image looks very natural. It looks very realistic. Let's try one more. So here we have a whole prompt and here are all the settings. We will pick, let's say in this case, 4 images, aspect ratio, let's keep it the same, quality, PNG, let's hit generate. And our first generation is ready. So here you can see that the quality is very high. We can see every detail of her clothing. Everything looks alright. Here is a little bit of white t-shirt. There is this shirt. There is this vest on top of that. Maybe this part doesn't look that well, but still it's alright when you consider all the rest. Maybe this text here as well. But nevertheless, you can generate a few more generations if you want to. But in my opinion, this is very high quality generation. And here is the second one. So this one looks even better. Even the text here looks better. The vest, hair, everything's all right. This is the second generation, very good one. Sometimes it takes a few generations, but if it's all free, there is no reason to be worried or stingy because, well, you're not spending any money on it. So here is the third one. I see a few problems here. The text doesn't look that well. Her face looks alright. Let's say the whole clothing looks alright, but her weapon doesn't look alright. So I would say this is not a good generation unless you want to create a channel. When you create something funny with AI, then you feature things like that, which is also a good idea. I would say there's one channel that is showing all the mistakes that AI is making, and this channel is growing very, very rapidly. And here is the last one. Again, good generation. If I would pick out of these 4, which one is the best, probably this one would be one of my choices, and then probably this one. So there would be 2 images that I will pick. Okay, so this was Focus, the first tool. And if you would like to access all the images and prompts that I was using for this test, let me know in the comment section below. I will prepare a document and also Google Drive with all the images so you can access them, download them, and even use them for commercial uses if you would like to. I will give you a full right to it. So let me know in the comment section below if you would like to have access to all of them. And let's go to the next tool. Okay, so here we have the second tool. It's again collab with Google, and this time we have defocus. And defocus is just upgraded version of Focus, so you have more options to basically create your images, and the process looks exactly the same. You can pick theme, it should be dark or light, it doesn't matter that much. Preset if you would like to have any. So you need to hit connect in this place here. We are waiting to be connected. Once it's connected, then we'll be able to proceed with installation. So it's connected. Now we just hit this play button here. Now it will install our in a cloud. So it's not anything in our computer, on your PC. You don't need to be worried about that. Once that it is done, we'll be able to start with our image generation. So now this process, you don't really need to be worried about it that much. It's the same like it was in the previous case. So this, what you can see here, the code is nothing that should worry you. For you, the most important part is just the final link, and it's the only thing that matters to you. So let's just wait patiently, and I will show you what it looks like inside soon. And with defocus, you can also use the exact same prompt maker that I was using before. So you can just copy this and use it in ChatGPT or any other AI tool like that, and you'll be able to generate very high quality prompts. Exactly like, for example, this prompt that we have here that is with detailed, and you would probably spend hours or maybe sometimes days to create a prompt like that. And here we have something like this ready in a matter of seconds. Okay, so here is our link. As you can see, this is all you need. Run on a public URL. You can of course run it or on local URL, but in this case we want to run it online. So this is all you need. You don't need anything else, just this link. We just need to wait a few seconds. It's loading right now. And here is our interface. Here is the first image that I generated before. You can see very high quality. I love the level of details here. So let's work with this creator as well. You can pick the performance. In many cases, I would just pick quality because, well, quality is important to me. But now aspect ratio, you have plenty options to choose from. Let's just stay with what we have here. So 9:7, and we'll put our prompt here. Image numbers, let's generate just 2, and then negative prompt as well. So here is our first prompt, and we also have a negative prompt here. So let me take the negative prompt, I'll put it here. You can also use this one to translate your prompts to English if you would like to. However, my prompts are already English, so I don't need it. What you can see as well is that you have access to Photopea here, and this is a free alternative to Photoshop, so you can access it directly here. Of course, you can access it in your browser as well. However, Photopea sometimes tends to burn my computer when I'm using it even in a browser, so probably this option would be more efficient when you want to save your machine. Okay, so here we have a whole prompt. Let me hit generate and I will see the result. And again, we have the same style of creating images, so we can see every step that this tool is taking. At this point, we have 25 steps out of 45 steps. So let's wait for the final result. I also wanted to say that it's nice to see all the steps it's taking, because you know when the process will be finished. Like when you don't see it, sometimes you'll be waiting minutes, maybe hours to get your image. But now when I see it, I know that it's moving slowly, but let's say in around 1 minute or 2 minutes, it should be ready. So here we have our first image. Here's the first generation. In my opinion, it looks very crisp, very good. Maybe this sword here should be actually on his back, not in front. But still, it doesn't look odd, or it doesn't look that weird here. I like the details. I like the city. This sword here, maybe it shouldn't be actually there. Overall, it's a good generation, and I like the quality considering that I was, creating it for completely free. And here we have also the second one. So the second generation is probably even better. We can see right now that he's holding this katana in his hand. We can see his eyes, the armor, the city in the background. This is a very good generation in my opinion. Both of them look great, but this one looks even better in my opinion. Okay, let's try the next prompt. So here we have the prompt. Again, we have negative prompt as well. So we just put this negative prompt here. And now let's hit generate and then we'll see. Let's keep just 2 images. The aspect ratio is alright. So let's just hit hit generate and we'll see what we'll get. And here is our first result. So let me make it a little bit bigger. Again, high quality. I love the details. It looks very realistic. The forest behind her looks realistic. There is also this sunlight. Her hair, the flowers in her hair also look realistic. These butterfly wings. Again, very good generation. I like the level of details here. Of course, later you can upscale, as I mentioned before, but now we are just generating images, and I wanted to show you what kind of images you can generate. And here we have also the second one. So the second generation is again great. There's maybe this problem with these wings that they should be on her back, not necessarily in front of her. So this is one problem here. But as I mentioned, this is normal when you're generating images with AI. Sometimes you need to generate a few of them to get the best result possible. Nevertheless, when we check all the details, the quality is quite high. So I'm quite happy with this generation. And here we have the next prompt. It also includes the negative prompts. So let me put it in here. And now we can simply hit generate and see what we'll get with that. And here we have our astronaut. So here is the first generation. Again, looks very realistic. It looks exactly like it's Mars. And the details of his suit look very realistic. There is maybe some flag here that doesn't look that well, but apart from that, maybe it's not even a flag, maybe it's just a tag or whatever. I like this generation. It also looks like maybe he has like a sun protection inside, so he can close it inside as well, or maybe it's just the reflection of a red ground, or basically just the landscape of a Mars. Nevertheless, whatever it is, it looks alright. I like this generation. It's high quality. So this is what you can achieve for completely free. And here is the next generation. This one also looks good, but I feel like the first one was better. I don't necessarily like this this reflection in his helmet that much. I think it looks kind of weird. I think it's too much in this case. It should be either without this or with complete protection, so then we cannot see his face whatsoever. So this would be something that I don't like in this generation. However, as I mentioned, every time when you're creating anything with AI, you need to generate at least a few results to have the best result possible. Okay, and here we have the next prompt. We still have negative prompt, so let me just take it and I will put it again here. And now here is the whole prompt. Let's hit generate and see what we'll get. Okay, so the first image is ready, and I already see one problem here. So it is this hoof here. If this part wouldn't be here, I would say it's a very good generation. Of course, you can edit it later, remove it by yourself with any AI tool, or you can just generate one more image to basically see this stallion without this additional hoof that shouldn't be here. But nevertheless, the quality is good. We can see the forest, it's done. We can see the details of this stallion. So everything looks alright in this generation. And here we also have the second generation. This one looks better. There is no distortion with this hoof. Maybe still a little bit here. So again, we need to generate one more or remove this hoof later on with AI tools. But nevertheless, both of them look good. I like the quality. So let's proceed to the next image. And here is the next prompt. Again, we have negative prompt. We can just copy it and paste it in here. So that will be that. Then let's hit generate. Okay, so here is our first image. Here is the generation. I would say it looks very realistic. We can see this bookshelf behind him. We can see some painting on a wall, lamps, desk with an open book and details on it. We can see window. There's another lamp. This one is turned on, some kind of furniture. And his clothing also looks very realistic. Here we can see the handkerchief. We can see this is probably part of maybe even more than one watches. So maybe one of this side, one on this side, because he's probably too rich to have just one watch. We can see the sleeves. They look also high quality, quite expensive. So it's again a very good generation. There is nothing really that I can say bad about this picture. You could use it, for example, for like true crime channel, maybe detective style channel, maybe something like Peaky Blinders, or about maybe mafia or any criminal organizations that were, existing before. So again, very good generation. The second one is even better in my opinion. The watch looks very good. Maybe a little bit too modern for this time, but nevertheless it looks alright. There are two open books on the desk. His suit looks alright. His sleeves look very high quality. His tie, the candles on a table, light in the background, his hair and everything around him looks very high quality. He is looking like he has more power than the man before. So again, very high quality generation. You can use it in the same way with crime channel, maybe history channel, maybe something about organized crimes in the past, something like that. Okay, so this was the second tool, which was defocus. If you would like to, again, access all the prompts and all the images, let me know in the comment section below, and I will prepare a Google Doc with all the prompts and also Google Drive folder with all the images so we can download them, reuse them if you would like to. You can keep all the commercial rights to these images as well, so just let me know in the comment section below, and let's go to the next tool. Now the next tool is one of my favorite tools that I'm using nowadays nearly every single day, and it's PicLumen. So PicLumen is a free AI generator, and although they recently changed their pricing, you can still generate unlimited generations, but just in a relaxed mode. So you have access to all the features that you had before, but now instead of generating 4 images at the same time, now you can generate only 2. But nevertheless, you can still generate unlimited images with this tool. Maybe in the future it will change, but at this point you can. And let me walk you through how to use it, and then I will show you a few generations. So this is what you'll be able to see inside. You have community tab where you can explore what other people are creating, and you have featured option where you can see just what is featured, hot. So you will be able to see more hot images, and then also likes. So these that are getting the most likes on the platform. You can also give your likes to any picture, any image that you find here. So a few of them are quite interesting, as you can see here. So I would say PicLumen is one of the best in terms of quality and also in terms of adult content as well. Here you can create more of adult content, I would say. How to generate your image, you just describe your image here above, you write your prompt. Then you can also add an image reference if you would like to. Then you select the model. So I would say PicLumen Art versus 1 is sometimes even better than Flux. I will show you in a second why I think like this, but you can test it out by yourself. It says PicLumen Art, but in my opinion, it looks more realistic than Flux. Sometimes Flux is just creating the images that look like someone used too many filters on them. So this is the main problem. Then you have PicLumen Realistics. If you want to create hyper-realistic photos, then this model is for you. Then you also have other models, so it's anime, line art, Pony Diffusion, and of course you have Flux Chanel. And as I mentioned, sometimes PicLumen Art is generating better results than any other model. So here is one example. Let me just show you this one. This one is not the best one, as we can see this hand, and I don't know what this hand is doing here. However, the second one is way better. So we have this woman. If you'd like to copy, you can copy the whole prompt, or again, I can give you all the images that I generated here. So then you can also use them without any problems. Here is the third one. It looks still alright, and the fourth one. But this one, I don't like this one that much, but still, this is Flux, and sometimes Flux is working like that. Then I was using Flux to create these animations. Now they are very popular on YouTube. They work very well. They are going viral, so that's why I wanted to see what they look like. And now, again, here is something that I generated with Flux. It looks alright, but not all of them look very realistic. They look high, there's high contrast in them, and they work well as a thumbnail, but they don't look 100% realistic. So here is the comparison. For example, here we have Flux 1, and you can see that we have too many colors, there's too much contrast here. So this is what Flux is doing for you. However, here, for example, we have PicLumen Art versus 1, and as you can see, this one looks more realistic than the previous one. We can see the t-shirt that looks like a t-shirt, everything looks real. We can still see that it's very polished. We can see like filters were added here, but still it looks more realistic than the previous one. The same with this one. This one was again made with PicLumen Art. So I hope you can see the difference. And let me show you a few more. So for example, here we have still, all of them probably were made with PicLumen Art. All of them are made with PicLumen Art. So this is what you can achieve with them. Here I had also PicLumen Art Star Wars. You can see that it looks exactly like the Star Wars animated movies nowadays. The same with this one. So it depends on your prompt. Here I used PicLumen Art version 1 again. It looks very good. The same with this one, or even with this cut. I would say Flux would have big problems to create a generation of this quality. However, here we can generate it without any problems. The same the second one, and the prompt is here, and here is the image. So it looks very realistic. Now, here we have PicLumen again, something quite extraordinary. All of them are made with PicLumen. They look good. Here is also the prompt. So as you can see, PicLumen is creating usually something that looks more realistic than Flux. Here is another example. So here we have, again, PicLumen. The second one is also made with PicLumen. Looks very realistic in my opinion, but very polished, like someone was adding filter to it. Again, PicLumen Art version 1. And we have a few generations here. We have 4 of them. For all of them look good. You can just animate them later if you want to. And I just want to showcase what kind of generations you can get with piglumen. Now here I was using Flux. So here's the whole prompt. It's a very long prompt. So let me know if you would like to see it and I will copy it for you. Here's the second one as well. It looks good. But the main reason why is because we are not using any colors, it's black and white, so this is probably why Flux is creating so good generation here. Again, we have piglumen art, something that will be working well for probably thumbnail. Here's the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. All of them are using piglumen art. It's a good generation in my opinion, high quality. Again, the prompt is not that long in this case, but all of them look high quality. That's why, piglumen is one of my favorite tools nowadays. It can create everything and you still can generate unlimited images if you would like to. Now, the next one is piglumen realistic. So it's a little bit different story. Here is the whole prompt and we have a few generations, 4 of them. And you can see that the style is completely different. Nevertheless, it looks very good. So here is what you can do with piglumen realistic. Now here we have piglumen art again. Both of them look good. I would say this is something great if you could animate it and then use it as, for example, the intro footage of your YouTube video, then it would work very well. However, I would say Flux is also good if you're looking to create anything that looks like cartoonish, that looks very simple with this style that I was presenting on YouTube a few weeks ago. So then Flux will be your best friend. And now a few other generations, nothing very special, just artificial intelligence. Then we have Google Gemini. I was just looking for inspiration. So I was just creating a whole bunch of images without any idea in mind. I just wrote Gemini and this is what I was able to generate as well with Flux model. Then we have also AI. So in this case, I don't necessarily think it understood what I wanted to achieve, but nevertheless, this is what generated for me. And here I was also trying different models. So we have piglumen art. As you can see, this model is not that great when it comes to generating the simple style, but I wanted to compare all of them. So piglumen is not that good. Flux is better for this case. Again, piglumen realistic version 2 is not that great again. But if you'd like to create something in this style, then piglumen realistic is your choice. Again, something like that here. Again, realistic, and then we again have realistic. Then we have line art. So line art is very simple style, easy to recreate, and also can work well if you want to create like a black and white channel. Then it will also work well for you. But in my opinion, Flux is working just the best when it comes to these simple generations with these simple animations that are so popular on YouTube nowadays. You can see that not all of them are perfect, of course, but this is what it looks like when you're creating anything with AI. It takes sometimes a few attempts to create a good generation. Here I also had the Vikings. I was thinking about creating a new channel in a niche with simple animations and sometimes even more complicated, like for example, let me find it for you. Like for example, something like that, or something even more advanced, something like this one. Then Flux is your friend. It will be able to generate something like that for you. These animations, they look very good in my opinion. And here we again have piglumen art. So a piglumen art, as I mentioned, it looks very realistic. In many cases, I'm using it for my thumbnails. I'm using Flux from time to time too, but nowadays piglumen is my favorite model when it comes to generating thumbnails for my videos. Now we have Flux 1 Schnell. So again, a few generations with the same prompt. So we have 4 generations. And then the next one is piglumen art again. We have Poseidon here, and we have a few generations like that. Then Matrix, nothing very special. I was just testing what I can do with that. Then we have an astronaut. It looks all right again. Then we have this generation that is way more creative than the rest of them. I was using it with one of my thumbnails. So again, it's good generation. Then we have something that is a little bit more dangerous, I would say, in terms of monetization and stuff. So piglumen also helps you with creating images like this. In this case, I was using piglumen art version 1. Here is the next generation like that. Both of them look good. Now here is also something that I wanted to use for one of my thumbnails. Eventually I didn't use it. And of course, these generations that I'm usually using for my thumbnails. So all of them are made here. Here's also something a little bit more fun. So we have Deadpool, 4 generations. You can pick which one you like the most. I probably like this one the most. It looks very interesting in this white suit. However, you can pick the red suit as well if you prefer the original one, but with the different jacket, I would say. And again, we have one image with piglumen art, or actually 2 of them. Good quality. You can let me know in the comment section below what model you like more. If you like piglumen art or you only like Flux, I would like to know what you think about them. Here is the next one. I was using piglumen art again. And here we have a whole bunch of images that we're using piglumen art. Here we have Flux. And I would say the quality at this point is better with Piglumen. Flux is still good, but sometimes this Schnell version is not that detailed or is generating quite unrealistic results. Here we have again Piglumen art. In the second version, both of them look good, quite creative. Here, more Piglumen. Let me maybe find one or two more examples. Here is something that I was using also for my YouTube thumbnails and for my videos. I was later animating these images and I was creating an intro with them. And here is the next one. Again, it's Piglumen. Again, good generations. Nearly all of them are made with Piglumen and nearly the same prompt. I was just looking to find the best one. And here is the huge difference. You can see that, for example, Piglumen looks realistic, looks alright. Everything has its place. There is nothing that is screaming this image like, oh, it's too much. But Flux, as you can see, there is like the contrast is just too big in these images. So this is, in my opinion, the biggest difference between those two models. Sometimes, of course, with Piglumen, you are not able to create everything you would like to. It will not allow you to create all the content 18 plus, but you can get quite close with a few generations. This is a good generation. Again, I was using Piglumen art. So I highly recommend you to try this because you will be surprised if you're using before only Flux, how Piglumen art is strong and how good it is when it comes to generating images. As you can see here, sometimes you will get this notification so you cannot use this image, but in many cases, you'll be able to see things that are quite dangerous or things I'm not supposed to show on YouTube. And again, if you'd like to access a few images that I made with Piglumen, make sure to comment down below and I'll give you access to the folder where will be images and prompts, so you can just use them if you would like to. And now let's use the next tool. But if you're a fan of Flux One Dev, then I have good news for you. You can use this model for completely free as well. So again, there will be a link in the description. To use it, you simply hit connect. Then you'll be able to install your model and use it for completely free. So let's just start. And in a matter of minutes, it will install it and then you'll be able to create your images using Flux. So now we need to wait a little bit for this model to unpack, to basically install it, and then we'll be able to use it. Okay, so once the process is completed, you'll be able to see this mark here. So it means that it's completed, and this one looks a little bit different than previous models because here you'll be creating your images here. So this is the place where you'll be adding your prompt. Then you can also pick the aspect ratio, steps, how many steps you should use. You don't need to worry about other settings. Then you simply hit on this button and then you will create your image. It takes some time. As you can see here, we started generating, we have only 15%. So this method is slower than the previous ones. However, Flux Model Dev is also more detailed model, so it takes more time to create all these images for you. Okay, so here's our first image, the test image. It looks all right. So let me now use another prompt and we'll see what kind of generation we can get. Again, the same good thing about this generator is that it shows you exactly the progress. So right now we have 40%. We can see how much time it should usually make. Now we have 45%, so it's jumping like that. And here is approximately how you will be waiting for one image. So this is very handy in my opinion. Okay, so here is the image. It took some time to render it, but now we can just save image as. Save it on your computer and then you'll be able to see it directly. And this is the image that we've just generated. Again, very good image. I like the quality. You can of course upscale it later, but again, it's a very nice generation in my opinion. And now let me show you a few other examples. So now it will be without prompts. If you'd like to see all the prompts, let me know in the comment section below. And then I will basically share all the prompts with you and images as well, so you can download them if you would like to. So here's the first one. We have this underwater city, this civilization. And there's one man that is basically diving here. Here is the second one. Again, something that doesn't look very realistic, but is high quality and it would be great for animated movie. Then the third one is very similar, and the last one as well. I would say probably the third one and the first one are the best. The first one looks like a cover from like a book or maybe from a game. I like this one very much. And the third one also gives me a very similar vibe, maybe as a thumbnail as well, if you have an idea for a video like that. Okay, so here's the second one. Again, very good generation. We have this wolf, we have all the mountains, we have also this moon here. So it's a good generation. The first one, the quality is high. Here's the second one. Again, very good quality. I would say the first one is probably even better. I like the pose and I like the structure of this image. The second one also looks alright. Then the third one, this one is alright if, for example, you would like to showcase how big the world is, but the wolf itself itself is not that important here. So this image gives me this vibe. So if you'd like to use it, you can use it as well. And here's the last one. This one is a combination of everything. It shows you the world, but also gives the importance to wolf as well. So it's like the best of the two worlds, but I would say still my favorite one is probably the first one when we see this wolf in this pose. The second one is alright, the third one is good, and the fourth one is also great when we see all the details, how big the world is, and the wolf is looking directly at us. The third one is something a little bit weird. We can see a lot of contrast here, and it's like basically civilization, but not on Earth, on a different planet. For some reason, we have a combination of a few languages here. There's probably something that looks like Chinese. There's something that looks a little bit like English, but not clearly. We can see that the sky looks completely different, but overall the quality is good. Now the second one is very similar, also looks alright, the third one and the fourth one. In my opinion, the second one looks alright, but my favorite is probably the third and the fourth. I like more colors here. I see all the houses, so this looks better, but still my favorite one is the last one. I can see the most details. I can see some fruits that look like oranges. I can see the sky that looks very unreal. Buildings that are not stuck one on top of each other, so it looks a little bit better. We see all the people and maybe some aliens as well walking here, buying some things. So probably this one is my favorite generation out of these generations that I was getting. And here we have the next one. So we have this queen that is also a warrior, and we can see her throne here. We can see a lot of details of this armor. I like the detail of the armor very much. So here's the first one. Here is the second one. This one looks alright. However, I don't like the position of the sword here. So I would say this is kind of a mistake. However, in terms of a background, I like this background more than the first one actually. But nevertheless, the sword here doesn't work that well in my opinion. The third one, we can see that something is very weird here. So the sword is like two swords combined into one. So it's not really the best generation, but still it looks alright. When we compare the quality, just the morphing or the distortion is too much in this image in my opinion. Now the last one looks very nice, and this one and probably the first one are my two favorite images with this generation. I like the crown. I like the details of her armor. I like this cloth that looks a little bit like it's silk. I like the sword. So this one is the best in my opinion, and probably the first one as well. These two, even probably the first one is the best. When we don't see the sword, she's standing sideways. These two generations are the best in my opinion. So again, if you'd like to access all the images that I generated and all the prompts, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll prepare one folder where you can get access to all of them. And now let me show you the next tool. And now most of you don't know, but you can use the ChatGPT read aloud option, which is basically this option, to generate your voiceover and even download it. Okay, so all you have to do is to write this, repeat this back to me without adding anything else. So here we have the whole prompt. Now you just need to pick the voice and hit read aloud option. So we go to settings, then we go to speech, and then here you are able to pick your voice. For this project, let's pick so, and I will show you what so sounds like in this particular case. So now all you have to do is to hit read aloud.
July 1st, 1999. The world is buzzing about the new millennium. The dot-com bubble is nearing its peak, and the euro had just been introduced. But in Japan, a quiet revolution was starting to take place. A revolution that would change the landscape of global finance in ways no one could have predicted. He made what she says is millions of dollars trading currencies. In homes across the country, a group of ordinary housewives in Japan began to venture into a world ruled by Wall Street tycoons and international banking giants. We call them the Mrs. Watanabe. This is motivated by a desire to protect their families. Armed with nothing more than personal computers and an unyielding resolve, the Mrs. Watanabes shook the global financial markets from their kitchen tables forever.
Okay, so this was the first example. In a second, I will show you how to download it. But first, let me show you another example. So here we have the next script. Now let's change the voice again. So we go to speech. Now let's pick, for example, Sprouse. So we pick Sprouse, and then we do the exact same thing. So now we hit read aloud button.
Imagine a man who steals more money with a laptop than most criminals could with 100 guns. A man who, from the comfort of Moscow's luxury clubs, has drained over $100 million from bank accounts worldwide. The FBI calls him one of the most dangerous cybercriminals alive. Russia calls him untouchable. His name is Maxim Yakubets, the kingpin of Evil Corp. This is the story of how a street hacker turned into a global financial predator. A man who, while wrecking lives across 43 countries, lived like royalty, driving Lamborghinis with thief on the license plate, keeping pet lions, and marrying into Russian intelligence. But how did he pull off one of the largest cyber heists in history? And why, despite international manhunts, is he still a free man? This is the rise of Maxim Yakubets, Russia's untouchable cyber king.
Okay, so here was the second one. Let me show you maybe one more. Let me show you something a bit more casual. So in this case, we have another script, and here let's use maybe Ember. So we pick Ember, and let's start again with our read aloud function.
Today, I want to talk about something that's probably sitting on your wall right now, quietly judging you every time you touch it, your thermostat. That little box that's supposed to keep your house comfortable, but somehow always ends up being way more complicated than it needs to be. Now, don't get me wrong, modern thermostats are great. They're smart, they're sleek, and they can do all kinds of fancy things like connect to your phone, learn your habits, and even save you money on your energy bill. But here's the thing. They also come with problems. And I'm not just talking about the occasional Wi-Fi glitch or the fact that they sometimes feel like they're smarter than you. No, I'm talking about the biggest problem with modern thermostats. Let's dive into it.
Okay, so here is how you can use it. Now, of course, you have no option to download it directly here, but you can download a plugin for it. Here's a plugin, ChatGPT Audio Downloader, and you just hit inject download button, and now you can see that here is the button. You just pick your voice, and then you just hit download. And this is all you have to do. But of course, if you are concerned about using voice from ChatGPT, you can later turn this voice into any other voice. The good thing about read aloud function is that you can use these voices and they are very emotional. You can feel these emotions in a text. They don't sound robotic. And then later you can turn them into completely different voice with other tools. There's also the same tool included in Abacus AI that I'm using with a few other projects. So here it looks a little bit differently. So here you can click sound. Of course, Abacus is paid tool. So here you need to invest money to use it. However, when you hit this option sound, then you are able to pick either Hume AI or 11 Labs and a few voices, and it will generate your voice over in a matter of seconds again within your package. But as I mentioned, this tool is paid. But nevertheless, let me show you the result here as well.
Imagine a leader whose personal wealth is estimated in the billions, while his nation grapples with poverty and isolation. Kim Jong-un, North Korea's enigmatic supreme leader, is the living paradox of this reality. On one hand, he lives a life of unimaginable luxury. On the other, his people struggle to survive under the weight of a regime that seems indifferent to their suffering.
Okay, this was like a bonus. I would say Abacus is a bonus tool. You don't need to use it. You can stick with, let's say, ChatGPT, and later you can turn this voice into many other voices with other tools. However, I wanted to help you with generating unlimited voiceovers with ChatGPT that is basically within the free package. I've never paid for ChatGPT. I'm only using the free tier that they have. If you are a fan of DeepSeek or any other tools that came from China, then this tool will be for you as well. So it's Qwen 2.5 Max, and here you will be able to do many different tasks. You'll be able to search web, generate images, videos, you'll be able to create code as well, make a plan, check news, analyze image, summarize text, get advice, help you write literally anything, or brainstorm ideas. So I want to show you a few results that I was able to generate with this tool, but this tool has a few different options inside. So one tool is for image generation. You simply hit image generation, you pick the aspect ratio, you write your prompt, and then you'll be able to get your results. So this is one free tool. Another free tool is video generation. So you pick your aspect ratio, you write your prompt, and then you are able to generate your videos. Then the third tool is a tool that allows you to code, but it's not something that I necessarily need, but I want to show you that you have this option. Then the third one is to help me write anything. So it can write anything you actually want and deliver high quality scripts for your videos. So I will show you in a second how to do it. So you have at least 3 tools included in this free tier. And so here is the first one. Of course, this video is not that great. However, this is one of many. So here is the first one. I wanted just to showcase the video itself. It looks alright, but let's say he's not really riding, but more sliding. Maybe because of the leaves, it's too slippery. So here is the first generation. Here is the next one. And this one is way better in my opinion. Here is the prompt. And here is, of course, the video. We can see that it looks very nice. It looks great. Of course, it's not something real because we don't see whales or fish swimming in the air. However, this is what I wanted to achieve with this prompt. Now the next one is just an image. So we have the whole prompt and here is the result. I would say it's a very good result, very good generation. I like this outcome very much. There is no distortion or morphing here. The quality is very, very high. Now the next one, so we have a few images here. Here is the whole prompt and here is the first image. I would say this is a very good generation. Maybe we would need a bit more contrast here. However, I like that we have picture in a picture. So we have this woman and we also have this man walking inside. The next one doesn't work that well. So this one actually failed. And the third one, in my opinion, doesn't work that well, but still the first one is the best. And this is what I would use for any art projects if I wanted to use for art projects. Now the next one, here we have a whole prompt, a very long prompt. Here is the first generation with this wolf. Good generation. I like the quality. I like details. I like the wolf. I like the moon. Everything looks all right. It shouldn't be very realistic in this case. I would say the second generation is not that great. I would say it should look a little bit different. His head, especially the top of his head. Nevertheless, it's a good generation, good quality. So just generate one more to see just better result. Now here is the next one. So here's the whole prompt. And the first generation is nice. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, there is a problem here, but this image would work well as, for example, thumbnail when you want to expose something or you want to show something weird. Because as we already know, thumbnails that are working well are these that are spectacular, are showing something weird or something out of the order, something extraordinary. So then it would work well. Here we have the same prompt and here's the second generation which looks way better. We have big close-up here, but still the generation looks very good in my opinion. Now here we have something more realistic. So we have this woman and a picture. So the picture looks like it's real picture, not necessarily something made with AI. I like this quality. We see some logos in the background. It's not that important right now, but we could assume that maybe they are even real logos. So it looks really like a real picture. Now here we have the next one. And here I wanted to show you how to code. So this is what I wrote. Help me design a responsive portfolio site using HTML, CSS. And here's the whole code. So now you can just take this code and generate your website without any problems and without relying on any website developers that will charge you a lot of money. Now we can generate something like that for free. Okay, and here we have a few videos. So here is the first prompt and the first video. I would say it is all right, but it doesn't look 100% like I want it to. It doesn't look like a Smurf, but just like a real person, just like Cleopatra would look. This is not a perfect one, but I would say Qwen is better when you are generating real people, not necessarily something weird. And you need to be also aware that when you don't give Qwen clear instructions, it creates people that look Asian, have Asian features. The exact same thing we can see here in this video. In a prompt, I didn't mention it should be a Chinese woman or maybe with Asian features woman or maybe American woman. I just wrote a woman and it actually used the features of like it used Asian features. The same in this case, you can see here is the whole prompt and here is the generation. It looks real, it looks all right, it looks very high quality, even with gestures, with hand movement. It tends to do it. So you need to actually specify if you would like to achieve different facial features than Asian features. Okay, and here you have the next one. So here I specified the origin of a woman. So here we can see the generation is high quality. I like it when she is just drinking or sipping her tea or whatever drink she has. You know, sitting in the background is moving correctly. Everything is all right. So this is again another good generation that looks real. We can see a little bit of wind on her hair. So it's a good generation. And now, as I mentioned, it can help you with writing anything as well. So I just wrote, help me write the story with a twist ending. And here's the whole story. Of course, I will not waste your time on reading it right now, but the story is called The Perfect Alibi. Here's the whole story, and here we also have the twist ending. So this is how you can use this tool to generate basically any story you want and have a very high quality script ready. And here we have the next prompt and the next video. I would say it looks all right. There is a little bit of problem. I would say this video looks all right until the third second. After 3 seconds, it doesn't look like she is doing anything. She just froze in this pose and she's doing nothing. So I would say the first initial 3 seconds are all right. But after that, I would just cut it out and remove this additional part because it doesn't serve any purpose here. Nevertheless, it's a good video, looks quite realistic. Okay, and here is another prompt and here is the video as well. So let me show you the video. It looks all right. There's a little bit of distortion of her leg here, but apart from that, everything looks all right. It looks high quality. So I like this generation. I like this video. I was even using it in one of my YouTube videos for an intro. So this is a good outcome, good result. And you can just use them for any videos you want to create. And here is the last one. So here we have the whole prompt, and here is the video as well. And I need to say that I like this video very much. It is very interesting, intriguing. I like let's say those cows or these numbers and this energy that is going out of this book. So I believe this is very high quality generation. I like it. Of course, you can generate a few more variations if you would like to, but this is good enough for my cases, for my videos. So I wanted to share this with you, especially that I made it all for free. So with Qwen, you can have a few different tools and you can use them for completely free. Of course, it might change in the future, but for now, you can use all these tools that I just mentioned. But there's one more thing that I need to tell you about. Like, the access to tools is just one thing, but if you really want to make it work on YouTube, you need more than that. That's why I want to invite you to my school community, because we still have lower price, only $19. But when people are joining, we'll be increasing the price. Before, the price was even lower than right now. So make sure to lock in your price forever, because even if we increase price in the future, you will still be able to lock this price if you join right now. And you will be able to access our classrooms when you'll be able to learn by yourself. And you'll be able also to ask me questions or use the additional materials that I'm sharing in this group. So make sure to join right now. The price is probably the lowest it will ever be. And you will learn how to create YouTube videos, how to make it work, and how to basically start with your Faceless business or with YouTube automation with the best deal I can offer you. And if you are not ready for this yet, make sure to watch the video that you can see on the screen right now. It will help you with generating images, videos, finding the right tools for your business, or maybe just showing some news from the industry. So make sure to watch it right now. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.